Welcome to our live interview with the Frank Buck Zoo, powered in part by the Denton Black Film Festival and Classic of Denton. Well, welcome everybody to DentonRadio.com. It is a wild night here in the Discover Denton Welcome Center, bada bing, because we have the Frank Buck Zoo in the house, large and in charge with their animal friends. This is just a sampling of a few of the animals we have here tonight, and they're, if you want to come by and check them out, meet the animals, maybe even pet the animals, all that good stuff. They will be here tonight for you to come by the Discover Denton Welcome Center. Also in the house, we have got Free Beer Friday. It's also the Denton Black Film Festival tonight. This is the night to be downtown. If you are not at the Discover Denton Welcome Center, 111 West Hickory Street, you are missing out. Thank you very much for being here, guys. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And the weather's nice, too.
Yeah. Holy smokes. Who'd have thunk it?
Right.
January.
Texas.
Yeah, right. Anyways, so let's go down the table. We'll do introductions of our people first, and then we'll go into the animals. Not that y'all are second in our hearts, but they drove. So,
Yeah.
you know. Anyways.
So we get to talk.
Hi. Good to see you, Jake. Susan from Frank Buck Zoo. We've got a lot going on at the zoo. One of the things I wanted to mention is actually coming up on February the 1st. So that is this next Thursday, this upcoming Thursday. The Zookeeper chapter, Red River AZAC, is having a chocolate and wine pairing event. And so people are invited to come get chocolate wasted.
Love it. Love it.
Tickets actually end. The sale of tickets ends on Monday.
Okay.
So if people will go on to Facebook on the Red River AZAC chapter Facebook page, there's a link there where people can register and pay, and they'll get all signed up and won't miss the chance.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Next up.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm one of the keepers at Frank Buck Zoo, and the little guy that I am holding right now is Crested Gecko.
Whoa.
So they get their name basically from, they're also known as eyelash geckos, and they get their name from the little lips they have of around their eyes and around their head, those little crests. So that's how they get their name. He's
Awesome.
nocturnal.
You hold him a little closer to that camera so they can take in all his glory. Super cool little dude.
He's kind of small, yes, but he's pretty cool. He's nocturnal, so that's why he's feeling so active tonight. He's ready to go. This is his normal time. He's a night owl.
Super cool.
And he's from New Caledonia, which is around Australia area. It's an island. And what else should I talk about?
One of the
my
really
friend?
cool things that he can do, I don't know if you saw him flip his tongue out, but I have seen him like clean his eye before. He'll just like run his tongue right across his eye. It's really cool.
Well, these guys actually don't have eyelids, so to keep their eyes moist, they do have to use their tongue to keep them moist. Whoa. So that's why they can do that.
Oh, man.
And he's one of the only lizards that I'm aware of that has the prehensile tail, which means he can actually use his tail as kind of a fifth leg. He can hang on to things with it. Yep. Unlike other lizards.
That's cool.
Yep. And he can lose his tail like a lot of lizards. So if a predator were to grab him by the tail, he could detach. But unfortunately, unlike other geckos, he can't grow his back. So he would just kind of have a stub.
One and done.
Yep. One and done.
Super. And he's a handsome fellow,
He
man.
is. He's quite good looking, I think.
He knows it.
Yeah. The only problem is you think with his markings he'd be pretty easy to find, but I've actually had a lot of people while I'm standing there looking at him say, "Where's the animal?" Because he blends right in with all the vegetation that's in his little enclosure. So he's really good at camouflage, which is basically how he spends most of his time hanging out on leaves and branches. And you can't see his feet, but he has lamellae, which is basically little ridges in his feet and his toes that help him climb up pretty much anything, whether it's bark or leaves, anything smooth, he can climb it.
Love it. That's so cool. He's got such a cool look. I've never seen a lizard with such a cool hairdo. I gotta say.
Yeah. I mean,
no hair gel required.
Hey,
yeah.
it's impressive. We'll talk after this. We'll figure out the secret.
Well, I'm Katie. I'm one of our senior animal care staff members, and this is Cinnamon, and she is a hedgehog, as most people can probably guess. She is just hanging out sniffing, which is one of her best senses that she has, is her nose, and it's one of her favorite pastimes. And she uses her nose mostly to search for bugs. She's what we call an insectivore, so she eats mostly insects, and sometimes she'll eat some fruits and veggies and things like that, but she loves her bugs. So that's what she's sniffing out. Unfortunately, I don't have any bugs on me, so I'll have to give them to her when I get back to the zoo. But she is a mammal. So she actually, all of her spines that people are thinking of when they think of hedgehogs, it's actually just her hair, her fur. Huh. And she's modified to be spiky to help her stay away from predators. So right now she's nice and relaxed and her spines are pretty loose on her body. But if she felt threatened, she would roll up into a complete ball and she would stick them out very hard and they would hurt. Hence the glove, because one time she sneezed and she poked me. So I wear a glove now because she does have the ability to still poke me even if she is relaxed. So, but luckily, like I said, she's just hanging out, sniffing around, hanging out.
Too cool. Too cool. We've got quite the hairdo crew today.
Oh, yeah. Look at those eyebrows.
Well, very, very cool, guys. So for anybody that's never been to the Frank Buck Zoo before, this is Denton's Zoo. This is a really, really incredible treasure. If you haven't gotten the chance to check it out, I know I say it all the time. I've said it to everybody that I've gotten to talk to today. I've been talking about it on the radio all day today. I think just going to the Frank Buck Zoo and the landscaping and the way y'all have set it up is just as cool as the animals. Okay, the animals are pretty stinking cool, but it's beautiful the way you guys have set it up. It's a real treat to go check out the Frank Buck Zoo. It's not your normal everyday zoo experience. It's really, really knocked out awesome. So I can't recommend it any more to anybody because it's just always been a really, really fun time.
Well, thank you, and we will definitely relay that to our horticulture staff as well.
Love it.
They work so hard, and like you said, they do a great job.
Yeah. And horticulture.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Plants. Grass.
I'm totally joking. We're not supposed to talk about religion on the radio.
People can like plants.
Anyways, so you guys have got a lot of great events coming up. We talked about the chocolate event, which I will be at for sure. Try and stop me. But you've got a couple of other things coming up as well that we wanted to touch on.
Yeah, so the biggest event that we have coming up is March the 14th. It's our Frank Buck's birthday celebration. Awesome. And great time. That's usually one of our busiest visitation days of the year because in honor of Frank Buck's birthday, we are having $2 admission.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, and at about 1 o'clock, we'll have a cake to cut and we'll sing happy birthday to Frank Buck. Yeah, we have a Frank Buck.
I love it. I love it.
Cake and hot dogs.
So no hot dogs this year. But,
bummer.
Well, but we may have food trucks.
There you go.
Oh, food trucks. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so tell us the story of Frank himself, the Frank Buck.
So what would you like to know?
From.
He's an amazing man.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He's a character.
So he was actually born in Gainesville.
Okay. And
on California Street, as a matter of fact.
Oh, wow.
We're on West California. He was born at 800 East California, and where First State Bank Conference Center is now. And he grew up in he was born in a rail yard there.
Okay.
Later,
Wait,
when he was about
That's only the beginning.
Okay.
He later moved down to Dallas, and from there, he grew up along the Trinity River, collecting snakes and lizards and amphibians and all sorts of things. Down in Dallas, as he became a young man, he was in a poker game, and he won enough money at poker that he was able to raise enough money from that to take a trip to South America where he collected birds and brought them back. Hence, bring them back alive. Yeah.
Very cool.
From there, he just went on. He had a base camp in Asia where he would bring animals back from for many years. Dallas Zoo started their collection with, we have a letter that his daughter gave us that requests from various zoos in the country.
Wow.
Dear Mr. Buck, please bring back.
Cool.
He was a huge celebrity. He was a radio star. He wrote books. He was in movies. He had an adventure club on the radio.
That's cool.
So, I mean, he was a huge celebrity in his time. And then later, he also came back to Gainesville, had a community circus, and he would come back and MC the circus as well.
Wow.
He also emceed for Ringling Brothers as well.
Holy
So
smokes.
yeah, the man got around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy smokes. Very cool.
So, but he was really the pioneer of bringing animals back alive. He would go, and it was at a time when trophy hunting was big, and that most people, if they weren't traveling outside the U.S., they wouldn't have any exposure to anything other than the trophies that people were bringing back. And so he would bring them back alive for zoo collections, so people here in the U.S. could see amazing animals from around the world.
So cool. And Mama said poker would never amount to anything. Come on.
You can talk about that with your mom.
Well, too cool, guys. That's awesome. Well, is there anything else we want to make sure we cover as far as things that are coming up or stuff people need to know?
Well, one thing I would like to mention is that the Red River Azer chapter, they have, we made calendars of our beautiful zoo. It's got pictures of all of, well, not all of our animals. We'd have too many
12.
for that.
12 animals.
12 animals, as well as some pictures of the grounds.
I just got that, by the way. 12.
12 months calendar. Ha, we're there.
So we are selling those.
Super cool.
I think y'all have some here, actually, for
I
sale.
think we do.
Yep.
Yeah, they're discounted right now since it's 2018, but it's not over. January's not over, so you still get the full 12 months right now if you get it now.
Love it.
That's
So-
right.
Love it. Act now.
Another thing is we've got, we're just opening up applications for our Junior Zoo Crew, which is our teen volunteer program.
Oh, perfect.
So we start bringing candidates in for interviews and so forth, probably starting in May, and we look forward to working with them during the summer.
Cool. Very, very cool, guys. Now, there was a story on the news recently about some new guests that you guys just got.
Yes.
Did we want to touch on that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did receive 2 bears
Cool.
that were a rescue. They were confiscated from a facility in South Texas.
Wow.
We already had a black bear. We have 2 more black bears now. We had just completed an expansion to our exhibit. The expansion portion of it will not be open until later this spring because, as the animal care staff refer to it, the bears are what we call winter bear right now, which means they don't truly hibernate where they sleep like the entire winter. They usually get up sometimes once every couple of weeks, sometimes once a day. It just kind of depends how they're feeling, but they're mainly spending most of their time sleeping right now. So in the spring,
the expansion wouldn't get too much use right now. So we're making sure it's nice, getting the vegetation going. Then they can enjoy it when they're not winter bear.
That was some Spider-Man stuff right there.
Well, he is very Spider-Man-like. These guys can jump pretty far despite their small size.
That was pretty cool. I hope we got that on camera. So winter bear. So they just decide, okay, maybe I'm going to get up today. Maybe I'm going to get up this week. They're just kind of doing their own thing.
They actually recently, in December, she would go to sleep for about 2 weeks at a time.
Wow.
And then wake up, take a drink of water, look around, go back to bed.
I didn't know it was called winter bear. I've been doing it
Well,
forever, but I didn't know it was called winter bear.
call it winter
Yeah,
bear.
we call it winter bear. I think technically it's called torpor.
Dig it. Very, very cool, guys. Well, anything else we want to share about our friends here?
I think everyone should come down to the Welcome Center and learn about them because they're so cool and we don't know their questions. That's the best part is when the visitors come down to the Welcome Center and ask their questions and we can really ask them and stuff. So come on down.
I love it. And these are only 2 of the 4 animals you guys have here tonight. And so you also have your skink, right? Did I say that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
skink.
right. Nice.
S-K-I-N-K.
And then you have an owl, although he's a little shy.
He's
So-
good. I mean, with the band not going, we may be able to bring him out.
Okay, cool.
It was just
Things
a little
are
loud
rocking
earlier.
and rolling here on the square. We got music and we got beer and we got all this great stuff
I mean,
going
it's
on.
Friday night, so.
It is Friday night. Friday night in January, and it's hopping as could be. Who knew? Anyways, well, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We are here live with the Frank Buck Zoo right here in the Discover Denton Welcome Center right at 111 West Hickory Street. Come on down if you want to meet the animals and the creatures from the zoo. And
The creatures
Are
from
we
the
the
zoo?
creatures or the animals?
I don't know.
you decide.
You decide.
Thanks again for tuning in with us.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to remind you, don't miss your chance to get your tickets to the Denton Black Film Festival happening this weekend. Also, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at classicofdenton.com.